Solicitation and cold calling now. This is something that a lot of reps don't like. However, the best ones, that's what they prefer because this is where they can make the difference with the other ones. So I would like to give you all the tips they have that makes them allow to succeed and be better than the other ones. Why you have to solicit first? Because sometimes you don't think it's necessary. Most of your clients will disappear after 4 to 7 years, as we already said at the beginning of the course. So you have to replace your big customers, and you have also to replace the sales that you lost because of the internet. You know that the internet is taking a big share of business, generally it's your business. So you have to replace that with some other clients or other customers. As we already said, the ratio is normally 70% for your customers and for your actual clients, and about 30% for solicitations, excepted for farmers, where 100% of their time is for their clients, and hunters, 100% for solicitation. So how can you get new customers now? Solution is simple, not easy to do, but simple. Call calls to get appointments, and that's the best solution. If you don't do it, you have to have a company that supplies you with leads that they got through the marketing or through the internet, but don't expect that too much. And generally, the companies that I know who do that, they wait for their reps to be good enough to show them that they are able to solicitate and get customers before giving them leads. The minimum time of solicitation, obviously that depends on your business. However, in general, it's between 3 hours to 4 hours per week. That's the minimum. Why? Because you want to be able to be in front of customers A and B. You don't want to spend your time, to 80% of your time, with the C and the Ds that we have seen, that are small clients, and where you're going to spend a lot of energy to get nothing. We want you to be able to meet the best ones and be able to make your pitch, your sales pitch, in front of those who are valuable. So that's why you have to do it. If you wait in your chair, don't expect too much, okay? You have to be proactive. So the principle when you take the phone. For sure, if you want to sell on the phone, that's something else. But in general, the reps need to meet the customer. So they take the phone to be able to make an appointment. So don't forget, you call to make an appointment, not a sale. Okay? That makes all the difference. That means that you have to be short and simple. The more you talk, the more time you're going to spend, the easier it will be for your customer to say, no, I don't want to meet you. So you have to be short, simple, and the focus shouldn't be the sale or to sell yourself or to sell the company, but to get an appointment. You have to assume in your mind that the the client is already good for the meeting. He's already agreed, okay? If you think he's going to say no, that's for sure you're going to have a lot of difficulties. You have to assume, that's the only thing you have to assume, that the client is going to tell you yes, but you just have to choose the time that's the best for him, this week or next week. You should try to have an incentive for the meeting too. You have to present either something new for him in his business, so that he's interested and attracted to meet you. Or you can always use a sentence around, we want to study your strategies to adapt to the market changes. And you know that I'm going in all the spheres of your business, so I know a lot of things. And you also have to adapt. So I'm the one that can give you more information so that you can choose the right strategy. That's something that can be used pretty much everywhere. So that's a good one. If possible, try to propose an alternative. Why? Because if you ask him, for example, do you want to meet me? He might say no. So as we said a few seconds before, you have to assume that he already said yes. So the question is not if it's a yes or a no, but is it this week or next week, in the morning or in the afternoon? Okay, AM or PM. And before hanging up, don't forget, take note of the place, his cellular phone if you don't have it yet, and the email address if you don't have it yet too. Okay, so that are the principles. So you know why you have to do it, and you know the big principles. The voice. Voice is key. Why? Because on the phone, you have only two ways to communicate: the voice and the words. And you may think the words are the most important ones. It's not the case. Words are about 20% of the communication on the phone. 80% goes through your voice. Remember, on the phone, you are a voice, mainly if your client doesn't know you. How should it be? There is no perfect way. There is no perfect voice, and that's good, because otherwise it could be difficult for some of us. However, it should be in general pretty calm, confident, natural, enthusiastic too. You have to believe to what you say, and you shouldn't be this kind of people who call from India or any other place, but it's often in India that they have their call centers, where you listen to 1,000 person behind, and the person is just reading a script, say, "Hello, I'm Mr. How are you today? I would like to present you." That doesn't work, okay? Because the customer, the client, is going to feel it. So you have to be, as I was saying, calm, confident, natural. You have to be natural and enthusiastic. You should also try to smile at the end and the beginning of the call. Why? Because, as you know, we can listen to a smile. When you smile, your voice is different and the customer can feel it. So you should do it at the beginning, at minimum at the beginning and the end, and sometimes in the middle. Not all the time, that would be too difficult and too long, but at least at the beginning and the end. If you want to do even better, I try to listen to the breath of my customer, because I want to be as much as possible in his room. Even though there is a phone between us, I want to try to feel how he feels himself, how it is, so I try to listen to his breath. Try to make him talk as soon as possible too. Why? Because I've never seen a client hanging up on himself. Okay, so the more he's going to talk, the more interested he's going to be. However, don't forget, it's not a sale. It's you just have to sell an appointment. That's it. So don't be too long too. You have three styles to make a call. The serious one, for example, you have to meet you. It's very important. I've not seen you for a very long time, or I've never met you before. We have to study your strategy. When are you ready for that? This week or next week? Serious one. The neutral one and the humorous one, which is more difficult to use because I don't use it, but some are very good at it. But if you want to use it, you have to be excellent, because humor is something that is difficult to use, and that something can be understood in the wrong way. So three styles, choose the one you prefer. Neutral is not the best too. Humor, you have to be very good to use it, but if you are very good, it can be very interesting. I prefer the serious one, but know that there are three styles and try to find the one that fits you the best. So voice 80%. And that explains why sometimes it worked very well, and sometimes, on Monday morning it's raining outside and it doesn't work. Why? Because your voice is not very good, and the customers and the clients in the morning, on Monday morning when it's raining, sometimes they don't want to listen to somebody else too. So that explains a lot of things. Common mistakes now. How are you today? I'm sure you know that. How are you today? And I'm sure you already received that kind of calls. I do receive it every week. How are you today? I say, who are you? What are you calling me for? The person doesn't know you and is asking you, how are you today? So some say, it's an icebreaker. It's to make the client smile. It's an icebreaker. It's not professional. I don't like it because it's not professional. I've been working for the biggest telephone companies in Northern America, and that was something that they did not want to be said. Okay. Another common mistake when you make an appointment is to be too long, to speak too much, and to give too much detail. Why? Because the more you speak, the more details you're going to give, the more chance you have to get to know. to be too specific too. Why? Because again, the more specific you are, the more chance you have, and chance, I'm not sure it's the word to use, but to get to know. Maybe you could be interested in meeting me. No, that's too low. That's not good. I think that perhaps we could meet. No, that's not strong enough too. What do you think about organizing a meeting together? It's going to say, I'm going to think about it. Worse, you ask a question, you want to ask a question and say, I know that you are going to tell me that, but. So if you assume the answer, just don't ask the question first. Mainly, you can ask the question, but don't assume. It's not a good way to say that. To abandon the first objection, I don't have the time now, but remember something, you are calling to make an appointment. You are not calling to spend half an hour. It's just 2 or 3 minutes that you take with him to make an appointment for the next time. So if he doesn't have time now, reason for him to take an appointment for the next time. To forget to update the CRM at each call. That's a problem too, because if your CRM is not updated, then you are going to suffer the next time. Or forget your appointment, which would be even worse.